What are your 3 favorite Cartoon Network movies here? I gotta get rid of Billy and Mandy's Big Boogie Adventure first. Now, this movie was a chaotic trial by fire race through the underworld to find Horror's hand before Boogeyman uses it. And this movie is packed with a lot of that same dark humor from the series, and they even give a chance for side characters to shine, like Irwin and General Scar. And even though this movie is a lot of fun and it is nostalgic, it relies a lot on those random gags and references instead of being this like monumental climax for the series. Next one out is Good Wilt Hunting, good play on words. This movie finally reveals Wilt's tragic past and his creator, and this is easily the most emotional and mature writer in the Foster's franchise. And even though this is really impactful, it works better as a double-length TV special instead of this blockbuster scale movie. Next one out is the Powerpuff Girls movie. This army of apes invades Townsville and finally forces the girls to embrace their powers. And this was actually a dark and surprisingly emotional origin story that showed the girls being rejected as freaks before they became the heroes. It had this high-budget theater release with this really great art design, but there was a lot of focus on the setup of this movie that really kind of keeps it lower on my list. Next one out is Dexter's Lab Ego Trip. We get 4 different generations of Dexters and DDs teaming up to fight these multi-generational Mandarks, and this is actually a pretty sharp time travel story that's going on here, and it also takes us on this character study of Dexter's stubborn ego across his entire life. And this movie deserves its props because it was Cartoon Network's first official movie, and it's his story. And that final twist with Dee Dee is just undeniably a classic. Next one out is Regular Show the movie, epic sci-fi time travel war to stop the Tornado and fix Mordecai and Rigby's broken relationship. Now, this movie uses this like massive sci-fi plot to tackle this really grounded issue being Rigby's insecurity and this lie from the past that changed the course of their lives. And this show is the perfect scale to show the 2 slackers getting into some cosmic destruction. This movie is low-key a masterpiece. Next one out is Ben 10 Secret of the Omnitrix. We get this big battle on this prison planet of Inkarsicon against Azimuth, the destruction of the Omnitrix, and we get the debut of Way Big. Now, this was like really the finale of the entire original series, and it showed how reliant Ben was on the Omnitrix and kind of forcing him to be a true hero. And this just gave a lot of extra lore to the show by introducing us to the creator of the Omnitrix. Matter of fact, this is the holy grail lore for all Ben 10 fans. And the last one that barely missed the cut is Steven Universe the movie. This is this visually beautiful, high-stakes musical showdown that shows Steven having to reclaim his powers, and it takes us on this like toxic legacy of trauma and shows us that happily ever after is something that requires a lot of work. And Spinell is one of the most tragic Cartoon Network villains ever written. And between the Broadway level music production and the fluid animation, this is a movie moment that can never be duplicated. But one of the movies I'm for sure keeping is Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo. It is this beautifully animated high-stakes showdown in Tokyo that forces the team to push past their limits, and it wraps up all of this romantic tension between Robin and Starfire, and also gives the whole team the cinematic farewell. And just like that mid-2000s aesthetic of this movie just fits so perfectly, and the emotional payoff to Robin and Starfire is an iconic moment forever. The second movie I'm keeping is Codename Kids Next Door Operation Zero. This movie was a global war against Grandfather that had the ultimate stakes, the decommissioning of the entire KND Global Command. And somehow, some way, this movie pieced together all of the deep lore of the KND universe so massively and showed that shocking bloodline connection between number one, father, and grandfather. And they had this perfect balance of dark stakes and the childhood imagination of the show that we love. This was the peak of the series. And the third and final movie I have to keep is Ed, Edd n Eddy's Big Picture Show. We finally get the reveal of Eddie's brother, and it just completely subverted all of our expectations. This movie shifts from a road trip comedy into this really emotional character study, and it breaks down Eddie's defense mechanisms and really forces the cul-de-sac kids to genuinely accept the Eds. This was the most satisfying series finale in animation history, in my opinion. This moment can never be replicated. But you know, I hope you're not stupid, and I hope your brain ain't severely rotted. Other chance would be from mine. But let me know, what are your 3 favorite Cartoon Network movies here? Anti-LP.